Aloha friends, and welcome to another episode of the Super Soul Model series. I'm your host, James Granström, and thank you for tuning in today. And today's episode is, why is self-care your best investment? Guys, got a great episode today. Today's episode is a poignant one because are you someone who expends a lot of energy? Are you the main caregiver in your home? Are you a parent? Do you give a lot of love and attention to your kids? Or are you looking after your spouse, or are you giving so much attention to work that you're finding yourself spent? Then if that's the case, in some way, shape or form, what you are doing is you are overgiving, you are overexerting yourself. And as you are well aware, you can't work flat out without something happening that will be a challenge or a problem that will present itself, because we're not built for that. We are built to be able to enjoy as much rest and recharge as to work. And if we go flat out, what's going to happen is it's going to backfire on you. So it's very, very important that you learn to take care of yourself, and taking care of yourself is the greatest investment you can do. Self-care is the greatest investment you can do, because every time you do something that's positive and that helps you for your mind, body and soul, which I'm going to talk about today, what you're doing is you're investing that energy, whether it be something physical or emotional or whatever it is, you're going to put that right back into you. And your body is your temple, and whatever you're putting in your temple is, if you're filling yourself up, then your cup will metaphorically overflow. But if you're pouring out all the energy that you have and you're not filling up your own cup, so to speak, what's going to happen is you're going to run out of gas. It's just the way it works. And how are we going to be able to turn that around? Well, I'm going to talk about that today. But the key thing is to talk about you. The most important person in your world, it seems as though it might be your kids. It seems as though it might be your spouse. It seems as though it might be your family. It seems as though at this point it might be your work or whatever. But it's not. It's you. You are the most important person, because unless you show up being that best version of yourself, which you might not do every day, unless you show up, what's going to happen is, you've got nothing to give. And happiness is the greatest gift you can give anybody or anything, because it's your energy that you're bringing to the table that is what is being sent out into the world and being received by other people. People subliminally pick up on where your energy is at. If you're unenthused, uninspired, not up for it, you're no good to no one. And that is when taking some time to have some self-care practices put into your daily life, incorporated into your daily life, will make profound little impacts. It's the little things that you do every day and often that have massive compound effects for your well-being, health, vitality, and overall happiness. I know this because, years ago I was doing the exact opposite of what I'm now. Before I would be overexerting myself, sometimes underexerting myself, and sometimes drinking way too much, partying way too much, and then there's nothing left in the tank. My emotions are all over the place, nothing was in check, and I needed to check myself, and I needed to have some self-introspection, which led me to learn and understand the profound benefits of taking great care of myself, because I was letting other people down, I was causing problems for other people. And, that's no way to live. When you start to take great care of yourself, you become reliable, you become efficient, you become someone who people can lean on. You become someone other people look up to. And, that is who I wasn't at one point in time. And that is now who I've become. Now, was that my goal? No, that was not my goal. My goal was always just to feel better. My goal was to practice a sense of happiness. And I needed to find my own personal way to be able to get to that level. Now that will, fluctuate, go up and down, but the simple practices of self-care will change your life. Is it going to make challenges go away? Of course not. No, of course not. That's not how life works. Life will present challenges, but it also will prevent great opportunities for you And the better self-care you take, the easier it is for you going to be able to see opportunities and act on them when they present themselves, because you're going to be at a happier, higher frequency. Now, is this something that's going to happen like that? No, of course it's not. It's going to have to take regular, consistent practice. And consistent practice of taking care of yourself is the greatest investment you can give yourself. So, why is it important to take great care of yourself? Number one, it's saying, I'm worth it. I deserve the best. And any people who are doing extremely well really, for the most part, will be doing things that will be, and I'm talking about people who have got health, wealth and happiness and great relationships. They are doing something regularly that allow them to fill their own cup up, to fill their own energy, to fill their own energy systems, to fill their lives up with things, because they know deep down that they need to take good care of themselves in order for their business, their relationships, their love, their health, their vitality and overall happiness. Because if you're not doing that, then you're basically saying to the world, nah, I'm not worth it. And you know what? You are worth it. You do deserve it, because otherwise you wouldn't be listening to this show, or you wouldn't be watching this show. So it's, what is cool is people who take really good care of themselves. It is, gone are the days where being a wreckhead, which is what I used to do, it doesn't serve anybody. Yes, it might temporarily diffuse a problem that you're thinking about, but the problems will return because you haven't adjusted the mind. But when you start taking care of your body, mind and soul, things just start to work out. It's almost like you're unlocking the key to a vault, and things begin to click, and you open into a treasure chest, which is yourself. And when you are able to access that treasure chest, you're going to find loads of gifts, talents and abilities, and most of all, lots of energy. And energy, and high energy, is what it takes to produce incredible results in your life. And you're going to find that having wonderful relationships, you're going to find that making a lot of money, you're going to have some great ideas with business, you're going to have a great sense of health, vitality, well-being and overall happiness is inside that treasure chest, because you've accessed it, because you've taken great care of yourself. It's a process. It's something that you do often. So I'm going to tell you some of the things of what I recommend to do, and some practices that you can do to at least invest in yourself a little more, because the more you invest in yourself, as I've already said, you're going to reap the benefits. But the key point of why you want to invest yourself is because it shows not only that you matter, but you show other people in the world that you matter. And that's really, really powerful, because if you're wanting to get into a relationship, you've got to show that you can take good care of yourself. Because if you don't take good care of yourself, you're going to enter into a relationship with someone else who doesn't take good care of yourself. And then you've got two different people, or two similar people on the same vibe doing the same thing, and you're going to try and battle it out for energy, manipulation. So two happy people coming together, two people who come together when they're both happy at the right place at the right time, is the overall perfection of a great relationship coming together. Now, how are you going to know that? Because two people have wonderful habits that they've already put in place, where they're already in a happy, healthy, steady place, and that creates an overall warm relationship. Relationships are challenging, and they will be challenging, but you have to realize and remember that when you take good care of yourself and you're happy, relationships will reflect that. And when you're unhappy, your relationships will reflect that. So it's super important to realize you have to take responsibility for your energy, which is in your body, of what you're emitting and sending out to the world. Because when you get in this good feeling place, good stuff happens to you. And that starts with investing in yourself. Now, one of the things that's really important about investing in yourself is the ability and the power to say yes when it means yes, and no when it means no. If you're an overgiver, you're overexpending yourself, you're giving a lot to your kids, you're giving a lot to your spouse, you're giving a lot to your family, or you're giving a lot to the people you're looking after, or you're giving way too much to your work, you've got to realize when to say no. Because if you're always saying yes, what's going to happen is you are going to tell the world that you're an overgiver. You're going to tell the world that you don't give yourself much time for yourself. And then the world will just go, oh, that person, they keep on taking from you. Take. And the world is all about giving, for sure. You want to positively contribute, but you want to do that from a place of energy, of higher energy, with your cup full. Not from when you've got nothing left in your locker. Because if you've got nothing in your locker, what's going to happen is, it's not going to be appreciated for a start. You're going to resent the people that you're sending or trying to help in some way, shape or form. And then it's a backward, downward spiral, and you're going to think it's always them that's the problem. And it's not them that's the problem, it's you, because that you haven't taken the power to say no. You haven't taken the opportunity to say, that's not for me right now. It's okay to say no. In fact, it's good to say no, and it's great to say no because it's powerful, because then you realize that people won't overstep you, they won't overcheck you. So they know that you have a level of confidence and a level of self-esteem and self-appreciation to say yes when you mean yes and no when you mean no. And that is it. That's your line. That's what the signal and frequency you're sending out to the world. And people pick up on that. They know when not to overstep you. You become a much more balanced human being when you're able to say no and you're able to say yes at the right times. Of course we want to help. Of course we want to be of assistance to other people. But if you've got no energy and you say yes, don't expect anything great to happen out of this situation. And you're going to probably, fall ill at some point when you overgive in this possible way. You have to learn to say no to be able to keep your energy high. Because, so for instance, I'll give you a little story. Last week I was helping my father and he asked me to do a few things. And then he asked me to do another thing and I said no. And I felt so free when I said no, because I've been helping my parents, during this lockdown. And it's good to help. I'm all about positively contributing, but you've got to learn when to say no. And that, when I said no, I was like, that's good. I'm not doing that. And so they know when I will do something and they'll know when I won't do something. But people will try and test you anyway. That's just life. Life will try and sort of challenge you a bit. Will you do this? And you're like, nah, I'm not doing that. So, there's a real power in saying no. And when you say no, your energy shoots right back up. It's basically like your self-care barometer just kicks up after you've said no. You're like, will you come out tonight? We want to party. You're like, no, I'm not doing that. Boom, self-care barometer kicks up. If it's not good for your body, it's not good for your mind, it's not good for your soul, see you later. I checked that out a long time ago. When people ask, you going to come out? I'm like, no, I'm not coming out. And people know not to ask me to a potential toxic environment because I'm not going to go. People ask no when, they want to maybe go and see a movie that's not, a good feeling movie. They don't ask me. Barometer kicked up. That's because I know that I want to feed my mind beautiful things. I want to feed my mind more laughter, more joy, more harmony. So, there's a lot of practices that I have for my own self-care that allow my good feeling barometer to kick in. And, I'm blessed to be a high energy person. I'm blessed to, feel good and be happy pretty much most of the time. But that's because I've got this self-care barometer that I'm constantly checking on a day-to-day basis. I was asked to do something today and I was like, I'm not doing that. But my main thing that I love to be able to do is say yes when I mean yes, but do it under calm and easy conditions. So I never send an email under stress. I never pick up a phone call under stress. And people think, God, that's really backward. How are you supposed to be turning up in this world and being an efficient, successful human being by, not picking up the phone under a stressful environment, etc., etc. It's because my energy is so important to me, and I can get myself feeling good in as little as 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'll call back. And what I really notice is that my tone is now set, my self-care tone is now set, and I'm able to be efficient, I'm able to be resourceful, I'm able to use my mind in powerful, beautiful ways in which I can help guide a conversation if it's a challenging one in some way, shape or form to do with business or whatever. But that's okay, because I realize the better I feel, the better things get for me. And I realize my self-care barometer is the most important thing. That's why I have so many practical things that I use daily. And some not daily, but either way, there's certain things that I do, and I want to share with you some of the tips that I use. But also, Self-care means self-investment, very much like, compounding your bank account and your savings account and putting a higher interest rate and just reinvesting the money over and over again. If you put 100 grand in your account and at 10% and you let that interest rate roll over for the next 20 years, that's compounding. And you're just allowing the reinvestment over and over again. And that's very much like this. Every time that you are investing in yourself, you're allowing your personal energy, your personal beacon, your personal lighthouse to shine brighter. And the brighter you shine, the happier you are. And the happier you are, the better things get. Life, guys, will be amazing for you when you start to take really good care of yourself. And the only person who's going to do that is you, when you decide that you're worth really caring about and you're worth putting in all the little things and all the little practical things to make you feel better, to recharge your battery. Because we're like batteries, essentially. We can run out of charge, but we want to keep topping ourselves up, a bit like an Oyster card. Keep topping yourself up with self-care activities and self-care personal investments, because the better you feel, the stronger your battery, or the better you feel, the stronger and brighter your light, and the brighter your light, the better things get. Now let's get straight to it. What are my practical self-care tips that I recommend for you, that I personally use to recharge that battery of yours? You are so important, so you've got to be able to give yourself this. Now, I have many. And do I do them each day? No, I mix it up a little bit, but here's a few. Number one, invest in your mind. So read books from inspiring people, read books of things that really interest you, read books about people who've done things that you're wanting to achieve or you're wanting and move in that direction. Find some role models that you can read about and be interested about. Two, I mentioned it a bit earlier, start watching movies that make you laugh, that make you feel good, that inspire you, interesting people, wonderful biographies. That really fills your mind with inspiration. And inspiration means breath from within, inspire. That means the spirit within is being fed light, it's being fed energy, and it's being fed light. And you want to fill your mind with beautiful, bright ideas. Still going on with the mind, your positive self-talk. Each time you have positive self-talk, you're filling your mind, you're filling your body with the thoughts are in the mind and the feelings in the body. So the better your self-talk, you're filling up with self-care. I can do it. Stop saying I can't, start saying I can more. That is a huge way. I can and I will find a way. Wouldn't it be cool if I found a way? Start using your brain to be able to ask better questions and give yourself positive self-talk, because if you watch the news, I guarantee it's conditioning you to go down. It's conditioning you to realize that you're not enough, and you are enough, you're big time enough. It's just been drilled out of you from the programming and the social hypnosis that's continuing in the news and in the media. And that's okay, but it's built to sell drama, but you have to become aware of it. And once you start to become aware of it, your energy shoots right back up and you realize you're the one in control, not the world. And yes, there's some things that you can't control, and there's some things that you can control. And the things that you can control are investing in yourself, are investing in what you're thinking about, investing in what you're doing, investing in filling yourself up. Okay, that was some of the mind. I also like to surround myself with beautiful pictures, because those beautiful pictures fill up my mind, and I get to see and get stunned by beauty and art and all that kind of stuff. So I love that. So doing high-minded things really, really helps. And perhaps going to galleries and going to concerts and filling yourself up, really enjoying all those pleasure activities is super important, because you need to do this from time to time to realize that life is not just about work, it's about fun and play. And there's got to be a lovely balance between the two, but only you can truly decipher that. Now, physically, drinking lots more filtered, fresh water is extremely good for you. You all know that. And number two, having some good nutritious food. I'm plant-based, but Getting loads more fruit and veggies in your diet is a wonderful way, and stop eating those like snacky foods to try and make you feel better when you don't feel better. It's a void. What you really want to do is go straight to the water. And as soon as you get straight to the water, you're going to feel a little bit better. And if you are hungry, then go for something more healthy. That takes discipline to do that. A lot of people won't do that because when your vibe is low and you're feeling low, you're normally attracted to lower vibe foods. But healthy fruits, fresh veggies are the ones that will bring you back up again. Now, aside from that, take a nap. Napping is powerful. Winston Churchill did it. Margaret Thatcher did it. Thomas Edison did it. Loads of people cat nap. Loads of people power nap. 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there in the afternoon. It's a big deal. The reason being is because when you have a cat nap, you have a little power nap, what it does is releases the resistance that you've been holding on to. So having a little nap in the afternoon or at some point in the day, if you're feeling overspent in some way, shape or form, will recharge you, and you always come back with a better perspective. That's why sleeping is so important. You know, there's loads of scientists right now who are saying, oh, sleep isn't important. Yes, it is important, and the reason being it is important, even though people are saying, oh, you can get by on such and such. Well, that's fine, but sleep helps you release resistance. Self-care is an act in helping you release resistance. And resistance is like, you know, the contraction of your life when you're feeling like life's on top of you. And releasing the resistance is essentially like you bobbing up on the surface of a water, like saying, you know, that relaxed state. So it's super important. And after a nap, that's what happens. Now, learning to rest and retreat and spending a bit more time in nature, go for a walk in nature, go to the beach. Every time you do that, what happens is, that's right, you release resistance, you get in tune with your body, you get in tune with nature. It's great for your soul. You feel replenished, you feel recharged, and your battery fills back up again. That's why I always go for a walk in nature at some point every day, somewhere, no matter where I am in the world. And I'm blessed to be near a beach, so I go to the beach, and I'm going to go to the beach straight after this, and I'm blessed to do that. But you know, I know it's a self-care activity, but I love it. So spend time in nature. Look at nature. She recharges you. She knows what she's doing. We lose a lot of touch with nature because we live in cities, or a lot of people live in cities, which is great for high energy, but after a while you get burnout. And the reason why you get burnout is because you're not taking great care of yourself. And self-care, which is very natural activities. That's why nature is so, so important. Another thing that's great for your body, bathing, taking a shower, taking a nice bath, Epsom salt baths, relax that body. Do all those things to give yourself an at-home spa treatment on whatever budget you can afford is so good for you, because we all need to be recharged, and cleaning ourselves and cleaning our body and our temple is such an important part. You already know this, but remember, whenever you feel overexerted, you know, this is a great time to just bathe, maybe take a bath. You know, I go and get a massage. I had a massage today, and, you know, I feel so much better after having done it. And I know that the self-care activity just makes me feel so much better, so that when I come to do my work and I'm come to share and contribute in some way, shape or form, like I'm doing these videos, I know I've got way more passion and I've got way more energy because I filled up my own cup. Another thing is, of course, exercise. If you're absolutely knackered, exercising is not necessarily good for you. I'd go for like the more relaxing sort of stuff, spending maybe a gentle walk in nature or bathing or something like that. But like I said before, moving your body is a wonderful, wonderful way to be able to calm your nervous system. And when you've calmed your nervous system, your personal energy shoots right back up. And that is a wonderful self-care activity. And of course, you could do things like listen to music, listen to some beautiful music, give yourself a bit of time, find something beautiful to just allow music to make you feel good. Music will enhance the serotonin and dopamine inside your brain, and those chemicals will fall around your body and move around your body freely, and you'll feel so much better and feel so much more uplifted. Music has the power to change the way we feel. And the better we feel, the better our life gets. I call it the green man effect. Now, of course, another thing that you can do is meditate. I'm all about meditation. And meditation, if you can, meditation is my go-to first thing in the morning self-care activity that I give myself. That and a stretch maybe yoga as well you can add in, to just help me recharge and reset so that my energy taps into that natural high. It's a beautiful way to invest in yourself every day, because I know that when my mind starts to quieten down, my natural energy starts to shoot up, and then I'm in a higher, clearer frequency, and that's when I'm able to, you know, go out into the world and be way more highly productive and clear-minded, which is so important. Another way that you could be able to invest in yourself in self-care is to get creative. Get creative. Create, you know, are you a musician? Do you create art? Do you draw pictures? Do you sew? Do you dance? Do you write poetry? Whatever it is, start being more creative. This is like an addiction, but a positive addiction, because the more creative you are, the greater self-satisfaction that you're compounding within you. It's such a good feeling to have maybe drawn a picture or written a piece of music, or, you know, created a new dance or something like that, because that's great for your soul. And those feelings fall into the body, those emotions fall into the body, and your body thanks you for doing something that it loves to do. We are creative beings, not reactive beings, but when we live in a world bombarded with so much information, we often find ourselves being reactive. I know that I have, I live in London most of the time in the year, and it's quite a busy city, not as busy as, say, something like New York. But when you live in the city, one can be very, very reactive. And when you are creative, as a creative individual, you're choosing what you want to think instead of reacting on a situation or circumstances. So getting creative and being a creative or an artist making music is fun, and you want to bring way more fun into your life. It's a personal investment that will pay huge dividends. And then the last couple of things is call a friend or spend time with people you love and that are fun. The more positive, uplifting people around you, the better your life. And, you know, some days you're just going to have a down day, but some days are just okay. But sometimes if you call a friend, it's just going to take you higher. And the more time that you are spending in doing these little activities that will help raise your energy, the better you're going to feel. And the better you feel, the better your life becomes. And last but not least is practice way more gratitude and count your blessings, because the more you count your blessings, you're just going to realize that your life is actually pretty good. And at least, you know, the more you count your blessings, you're going to have more blessings to count. And that's just like the way that the law of attraction works, that whatever you focus on will grow. So whatever you focus on in terms of your self-investment, that's going to grow. If you're focusing on and learning and building some knowledge about things that you love and things that you are looking to become and move towards, investing in yourself. Every little activity and practical tip that I've said here is an opportunity for you to put into practice so that you can allow these little habits to compound in your life, so you fill your energy up when sometimes your tank is just dipping, because you just don't want to go to the petrol station on an empty tank. You want to make sure you still got a little bit left in there, so you're not having to get someone to come out to you like the AA to fill up your tank. You know, do these daily little activities of self-care and invest in yourself, because you know what? No one matters more than you. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Really passionate talk that I've talked about today. I know the power of self-investment. I've done it in myself, because this is exactly who I was at one point in time. Of course, you know, just take from it wherever you can and start wherever you can, but realize that your life really truly matters, and you need to take really good care of yourself, because no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to intervene. You have to take care of it yourself. And when you do, you're going to find such great freedom and such great self-sufficiency, because you've taken good care of yourself. Guys, I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to contact me, please do at James Granström on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter, and I'd be delighted to connect with you. If you've got any questions, please tune in, and on YouTube, please write in if you've got any questions here. I love doing these videos, and if you love this video and you like this podcast, please subscribe so you can get more videos like this. And if you have a friend, please share it with a friend that you think would benefit in some way, shape or form. Guys, once again, big thank you. And as always, I wish you green lights all the way.